get in the game. If you're really ready, come on and take a stand and listen to Tea Time with Tan. This brew is good for you. It's tea for the mind, body and soul. It refreshes, restores and renews. Every sip is inspiration, motivation and hope to the encouragement you need to get through. The solutions are clear, your success is near. Grab paper and pen, let's go read. It's time for Tea Time with Tan.
Inspiration, motivation, and encouragement is brewing. Welcome to the Tea Time with Tan podcast, where you experience innovative solutions and creative ideas designed for your colossal dream success. Let's sip. Here's your host, Tan.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tea Time with Tan podcast show. Yes, we are back. We've been on a break, and now we're kicking off a new season. And this season, we endeavor to get to our 100th episode of the Tea Time with Tan podcast show. I believe we're about 15 away, so I'm sure that it is doable to do that. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to the Tea Time with Tan podcast show. I am your host, Tan Tate, Master Certified Coach, Life Coach, aka the Hope Coach, where hope is also an acronym for helping others prevail every day. We are also a faith-based podcast show rooted in Hebrews 11:1. It reads, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen." So over here, we like to say it all begins with hope. What are you hoping for? This podcast, it is called Tea because we touch each area of everyday living. Professionally, personally, spiritually, in your families, in your relationships, in everyday living. It is the tea that's good for the mind, body, and soul. We're going to take an instrumental break, and while we're on this break, I like to do what's called a get it together moment, where we allow you time to get your Tea Time with Tan journal, your notepad, your thoughts, clear your mind, clear your thoughts, and get in a space where you can receive the tea being served today. Today's topic, we're talking about the fourth quarter. It's an annual special message that I like to do every year at the beginning of the fourth quarter. We'll be back after these instrumental messages. All right. And we are back. And on that track, that's my little brother, y'all. Super producer Tall Cole did that for me exclusively, and I love that beat. I be over here jamming when I hear it. So let's get right into the topic today. The fourth quarter. Oftentimes around this time of year, people begin to reflect on what happened in the first 8 months of the year. They go back to January, how they were so excited, how they had put in place their New Year resolutions, goals, dreams, whatever you call it. They have been reciting their affirmations, just feeling really good. This is going to be the year that they conquer the world, that they conquer their fears, that they conquer their dreams. This was the year. But somehow along the way, things got off track. Perhaps you stopped exercising. You stopped walking. Perhaps you got a unfavorable diagnosis from your medical provider. Perhaps you were laid off on your job. Perhaps you went through a bad breakup, a divorce. Perhaps you encountered a loss. So you're dealing with grief. What I'm trying to say is that life shows up. And as you begin to reflect back on the first 8 months of the year, you may fall on one or the other side. The one side where you're celebrating, saying, yes, I did the thing. I did that. So I want to salute you. I want to salute you who have been successful in your journey the first 8 months of the year. Kudos. Keep going. Finish 2022 strong. To those of you who may be on the other side, where you've been in a storm and somehow you got stuck and you haven't been able to move forward. And you may be saying, here it is now, September. I haven't lost the 20 pounds I said I was going to lose. I didn't start a new job. I didn't end that relationship. I didn't write that book. Your sentences are full of I didn't. I'm here to encourage you that there is still time in 2022. I always like to refer to this analogy, oftentimes in the sporting world, where the sports has 4 quarters. The game is often won in the fourth quarter, and sometimes even in overtime. So what am I saying to you? Yes, there is still time in 2022. Perhaps you didn't lose the 50 pounds that you said you were going to lose in January, but you still got time to shave off 5 pounds in September, in October, in November, and in December. Perhaps you didn't get the job that you said you were going to get in January. You still have time to sharpen your resume, to begin sending it out. There is still time for you to achieve that goal. Perhaps, no, you didn't get proposed to this year. And maybe it feels like yet again. Oftentimes, what we feel like is rejection, it is protection. But there is still time. So what am I saying? Don't count 2022 out. Get back in the game. You are the coach of your life. Begin to say to yourself, put me in the game, coach. Put me in the game, coach. And whatever being in the game looks like for you, there is still time. I pause there intentionally because I want to encourage you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to know you can still finish 2022 strong. Over here, this podcast, it's about what's good for your mind, your body, and soul. This tea is designed to make you feel that you can do anything. And let me tell you why. Because all things are possible with God. And if it's possible with Him, then it becomes possible with you. If you look at the word impossible, and if you break it down, it's impossible. So I need you to know that you are possible. Your dreams are possible. Your goals are obtainable. You have purpose, great purpose. You have destiny. The only person who can talk you out of 2022 is you. Not what society says, not what your family may be saying, not what your partner, your husband, your wife, your children may be saying, but what are you saying? How are you speaking life over into you? You may say, you know what, them affirmations didn't work for me. And I will ask you, were you consistent in your affirmations? Today is a new day. It's the fourth quarter. The game is just now beginning. Don't give up. Oftentimes in sporting events, a team can be 20, 25, 45 points ahead of the opponent. Notice over on the sidelines, there's always somebody hyping up the team, saying, don't give up, don't give up. We still got time, we still got time, we still got time. And then through their ability to believe that there is enough time on the clock, through their actions, they get out there on the field and they begin to march down the field 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 yards at a time until they reach the end zone. And they do that every time they get the ball. When the final whistle blows and the quarter is over, that team that was down 45, 35, 25 points, you look at the scoreboard. They are now the winners of the game. What does this mean for you? You have the ability to win. So let's break down the word win. The W for this podcast episode means weather. You can weather the storms of life. The I means inspiration. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. Find tools and resources that bring you inspiration. The N represents never give up. Never give up. Earlier I mentioned my brother who did the musical track for me. His music group is NGU. Never give up. Never give up. Never ever give up. That is how you win. And when you're in a storm, make sure you have the proper gear to weather the storm. Typically, if we're talking about everyday weather, that may look like an umbrella, may look like snow boots, may look like a raincoat, may look like snow chain for your tires. So who are the people who can be your umbrella in life, cover you? Who are the people who can be a snow chain to give you traction when you're facing discouragement? Who are the people who can bring you sunshine on a cloudy day? You are destined to win. Get in the game. There is still time in the fourth quarter. As this episode comes to a close, I want to remind you that all your days are good. Some are just better. You've been tuned into the Tea Time with Tan podcast show with your amazing host, Tan Tate. Connect with me on all social media platforms at the THEE Hope Coach 1. Until the next time and in between time, remember, if God be for you, who can be against you? Now go win the fourth quarter.